Welcome to the Soulful Illumination Show. I'm your enlightened enchantress, Nicole, and I am here coming at you from the universe, traveling across space, time, the dimensional portals, and other realms to the Soulful Illumination Show, the show about spiritual ascension through energetic frequencies, a show connecting you to the collective consciousness, allowing that energetic vibration to send you to your spiritual ascension and to awaken to the oneness of you. And I am coming at you here live from a bunker somewhere near Area 51 in the fabulous city of Las Vegas, Nevada. Talk about your energy. And we've got it. We've got it. All the beings and the enlightened beings are here. I am Nicole, and I'm your host. I am a crystal Reiki master, a psychic medium, and I'm a soulful coach. It's about you. It's about healing you and moving you up to your light, to your goddess light, and to that is you, and connect you to your oneness and the souls around you. And how do you connect to your intuitive consciousness? So let's connect the body, the soul, and the mind. Let's share the creation of life and what life is about. Let me get to a little bit of that housekeeping here. This is what represents the show and brings the show to you guys, because this show, I bring you from my heart and soul, and it's free, my gift to you. And so you can support me by supporting my sponsors. And if you want, let's look at today. Always great is cell core, because it's biomolecular oxygen. It's created by scientists in a lab, but it's natural. It's natural from the earth. So it's the herb and the essence of the earth into your body that resonates at a higher vibration to heal you and help you get that extra oxygen into your lungs and into your body so you can breathe life better and take that in. It's also, Cellcore also brings detoxing program, which is awesome because you don't have to think about the program. I've done it myself. I just finished phase 2 and I cleared out my body, and I learned that I don't have to mix all the herbs and oils myself. I don't have to drive myself crazy. I just have to take the phase myself, and I don't have to worry about when I take it, just to take it. And isn't that the thing? We don't like to detox sometimes because it's just so hard. It consumes you. But you don't have to think about it. It's pre-planned, it's taken care of, and it's run by scientists, 2 wonderful guys. Check that out at cellcore.biosciences.com. The other product I want to talk to you about today is doTERRA essential oils. Let's see if I can get that on the screen. I'm always a little bit backwards. That's okay. Go to my page. You'll see that. What doTERRA does is it helps you anoint your body so you can vibrate higher. And when you anoint your chakras and you take that oil and you warm it up and you take that essence as part of you into your auric field, and it helps you vibe high. You can use some of the oils like cedar and patchouli for manifestation. You can use them for clearing and cleansing, or just put them in your diffuser. They are all natural product. The plant is sourced from where its birth is in that state, just like frankincense. That resin is taken from the tree and it's grown naturally. And it is nothing in it but that oil. And you want to take things into your body that are at a higher vibration. And these are what helped me on my healing journey to cure myself from the diseases that I had in the time that I had always spent in the hospital. And it helps me to open into my consciousness and to embrace my intuition and to connect to my guides and vibrate higher and understand what I'm really here for and my purpose in life. So check those sponsors out. Right now, I'm going to go into the frequency reading of today. So the first reading I want to tell you, and I like pictures because I think we learn from hearing, we learn from the story, and we always learn from the frequency of what's around us. And sometimes it's better to see, because when we question ourselves, we're not in our soul, we're not in our heart. When we are in our analytical mind, we are not listening fully to our intuition. We're second guessing. And it doesn't mean to go blindly. You want to understand. But if you deny what your intuition is telling you and you deny your heart, you deny the energies around you and the guidance that you're given constantly, you are denying what is you and what you can create. Right now, we're in the full moon energy, and that energy is in Aries, and it is time for release. It's time for completion. That's what the full moon represents. It represents the completion of a cycle. And so it's just large and full and beautiful and just boisterous, and it comes at us. And that beautiful feminine energy of the full moon representing that pool of the water and the release of emotions. And right now it's time to look into clarification. So you finished your process, you finished your cycle, your 30-day cycle, and you're looking at the completion of what you have done, what goals you've reached, or what struggles you've had in that time. And you want to see that the clarity of that. If you're still struggling, you need to find out why. You need to question your shadow self. Look at your inner child and see, why am I sabotaging? Why can I not succeed? Why me? Why me? Murphy's Law, right? Why is it still happening to me? It's happening to you because you haven't cleared something. It's your subconscious saying, hey, we don't want to move forward because we're in pain. We're hurt. When we do that, when we go forward, when we start to succeed, somebody in our family may have sabotaged us in our life, or we lost money, or we lost a business, or perhaps we lost even a loved one. And so our subconscious is trying to save us from hurt and pain by hurting us and stopping us from moving forward and feeling that joy. So you need to go within and check that subconsciousness out and see, why can't you get that moving forward, right? Also, it's artist energy, it's creation energy. And so if you're feeling feisty and you're feeling that you can't create right now, why can't you create? Why isn't your solar plexus opening up and creating? Are you creating jewelry? Are you creating a business plan? Are you creating the life that you need to fulfill? And so one of the cards that I pulled today is addicted. And what does that mean? We can be addicted to pain. We can be addicted to being the slave and allowing others to choose for us because we don't want to make a choice. And what does that mean? When we don't make a choice, we are choosing to allow someone else to make that choice. It's still a choice we've made to not choose to succeed. But you need and want to succeed, and you need and want to move forward, right? And so, how do you do that? Are you addicted to the pain? Are you addicted to being the slave, or the slaver, somebody that's harvesting maybe that master of that pain and that cruelty to other people? So you need to check that out. What is that addiction? You know, it could be drugs, it could be other things, or it could be just to feel that pain and the depression. And sometimes we wear depression. I know I did, anger and depression like a suit of armor. Why did I wear it like that? Because I thought it protected me. It made me stronger. It made me feel like I was in that warrior spirit, but that's not where I needed to be. I didn't need to be the rescuer, the survivor. I needed to come to be the creator. And that's what we're talking about right now. Let's move into the creation of you. The other card I pulled up that just goes right along with it is the Shadow Queen, looking at what's you, what is hurting you from moving forward. Why can't you be successful? Do you need to sometimes let go? Are you in that imposter mode where you feel you're not enough? You don't have enough certificates, or you don't have enough experience. You can't get experience unless you go out and experience life. You have to start somewhere. Is it a video? Is it connecting to your tribe? Is it connecting to people, other people, maybe a mentor, a teacher? Sometimes you need that to follow, and you need to have support, but you don't always need to go back and have every little certificate, because people really worry about who you are and what your energy is, and they want to resonate with your energy, and they will be attracted to you because you can bring it, right? Not every business person has an MBA, a PhD. Some are just successful because they chose to go with that path and to share something in business that is not only unique, but something that they have experienced and they understand. And that's what they did. So move forward into that. The other energies from the rune stones or Lagos. And I'll have that up on my site today. That's emotions. It's psychic intuition. And we're going to talk more about that today with my guests, is honoring your intuition, opening up. How do you do that? You meditate, you connect with your Kundalini energy. It's all about inspiration. It's all about opening the third eye and breathing in life and listening to your connection and your guides around you. And it's yara, which is harvesting the reward. You have planted your seeds. You have sown your seeds. You have nurtured your seeds in the ground. Now is the time to harvest. What are you harvesting? Is that success that you need to harvest? That's your time to share it. And so you can be in peace after all the hard work and enjoy it. So it's the commitment to you, again, coming full circle with a full moon, the commitment back to you. And the last one is Pathro, which is destiny, mystery, secrets revealed. What is the secrets of that is you? Also your sexual energy. So with emotions and with your intuition, I like to use it like Kundalini. It's just that strong root energy going all the way up to your crown chakra. If you're not familiar with it, it could be your chi. We learn that in martial arts, that energy, that serpentine energy that travels up and down your spine. And how do you connect to that? And that is manifestation. That is your power. That is your divinity. And you're using those energies for good, for being beautiful, for being divine, for being successful. It's a full circle balance. And how do you get your emotions with your commitment? Don't let your emotions stand in your way and weigh heavy on your heart. But that is the energy for today, for the full moon energy. You can check that out. I'll have that up on my Instagram and my Facebook page. Right now, I'm going to bring in my guest host, which is Abby Gooch. I hope, Abby, I'm saying that correctly, and see if I can get you on that full screen here with you. Ah, there you are. Hello, beautiful. Good morning. How are you?
Amazing. How are you? And how's everybody else today? My goodness. I'm just happy to be here and meet everybody from my heart to yours.
Oh, awesome. It's so great to collaborate with you. You are a host as well on Oneness Talk Radio. And I love just the energy you bring, the simplicity that you bring, and the truth that you speak. You speak just so from your soul and your heart, and you bring that emotion and you share that, and you're so open with your audience and with your sharing. But I want to let you introduce yourself. Who is Abby? How did you get here? What are you about?
You're so sweet. Well, that feels like a hard question to answer. I mean, the first answer I have for you is love, right? As I believe and know that at the center of my heart and everybody's heart is love. And that's the essence of who we are, right? Like we have these different experiences of life. But I was telling you a couple of days ago or evenings, I had this like soulful illumination that I was feeling in my heart. And it was like so beautiful, Nicole, because it was like, I really got what people talk about when they're like, observe your thoughts and observe your emotions. Like I really was in this place of my soulful illumination, like to your show, right? That like my soul is so whole and into itself, just like we all are, right? Like
Yeah,
that perfect wholeness of sovereignty, of light, of love. And in that completeness, we can constantly create and attract, right? Like what a beautiful
right.
thing about this new moon and being in that fullness of love and attracting and using our intuition as our guide. Right. So
Oh,
I'm an intuitive success coach. So I created this process. I was about 19 when I started. And you know, part of my story is I went to normal college. I got a scholarship, and I remember calling my mom and being like, I'm like a round peg in a square hole here. Like this just isn't fitting. Like I don't even like what they're teaching me. Like I have this theory that we have the answers within us. Like I truly
right.
believe, right? Like we have the answer. There's a part of us that knows. And so I kind of played with it, and I would, you know, to your point of meditating, like I go meditate with the trees. Like the college I was at that time was Whittier College in LA, California. And I would just feel, I'd smell the trees and I'd feel, and I just would run and then stop and meditate and just feel. And I was like, I know, and everybody knows. And I want to
Mm.
follow my heart what makes me feel good, and that was a little further south in La Jolla, California, about 2 hours from LA. And so I allowed my intuition, which is like this pull of spirit, like it's like you said, the inspiration, it's light moving through you, it's illuminating you. And the way I feel it and the way I teach it is you bring your awareness from your head to your heart. You might even want to close your eyes and you feel life from your heart. So I can feel you. I can feel everybody watching. I can feel the trees. I feel the ocean behind me. Like I feel anything that I want to tune into. Actually, I can pretty much feel everything. And then I choose, just like you, to what we want to tune into, right? Because there's
Right.
constantly different energies. Then you take it a step deeper and you bring your awareness from your heart into your core, a couple inches below your belly button. Now, I call that your intuitive center. It's your gut feeling.
Yeah.
And we can all feel that presence of truth, of knowing, and of certainty within. And I just invite everybody to take a deep breath there. You might even want to visualize the color golden yellow light a couple inches above and then now below. So you're moving into that second chakra, which actually vibrates to the color orange. So you can bring yellow and then down to orange a couple inches below your belly button, even just rotating that orb of light. And you'll feel it when you connect in to that sense of knowing. And that knowing of truth, your intuition is like your inner compass, right? So you can feel what a yes feels like from your core. And you can also feel what a no feels like. And so you want to follow those yeses. So for me, when I actually left that scholarship and moved further south to La Jolla, there was this expansion, right? My yes was expansion. It was more light. If I was to stay, it was like a no. It was like a compression. It was a I think, I don't know if it was live or not, but depressive energy where you're kind of stopping what's true for you. And at some point, it didn't really matter what anybody said. Like when I went into the dean to talk to him and I said, hey, I think I'm going to leave. He's like, you have a scholarship. It was a leadership and academic scholarship. And then they actually invited me to play on their basketball team. He's like, what are you doing? Like, are you crazy? Have you lost your mind? And I'm like, no. And actually, I think the answer was maybe, but I don't really care because I feel so clear on what I'm doing. And so it didn't matter what he was saying, didn't matter what I was quote unquote supposed to do. My mom was really awesome in that I called her and she's like, follow your heart, honey. I'm like, thanks, Mom.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
And I get a
awesome.
lot of people don't have that, but she's always, she's just been that follow your heart, and so simple, but true. And so I left and I had a really hard time eating the food in like the cafeteria there. So I had bought on food credit like a bunch of naked juices and I
Mm.
had so many because that was like pretty much like my staple, but I was leaving. So I like actually went out and just gave them to people that were on the street. And I just felt so joyful that I could give. And it was from this place of overflow. And I found my joy in service. And again, I want to highlight, like I was talking to a client yesterday, like she's somebody that gives a lot and she was giving to the point where it was hurting her. And I said, serving doesn't mean you don't take care of yourself.
Oh,
So,
yes. Yes. That's huge. Take care of
right.
you first.
So it's a flow, right? It's like I have this juice, I have enough, and I'm also sharing, and I love you, and it's a gift to actually receive this because, like, it feels good to give, right? It's a full circle. Giving and receiving is a full circle, but we do it
Yes.
from a place of our fullness because, again, we're whole. We're whole into ourselves from this place of our soul, and we get to collaborate and magical synchronicities happen, meeting with Shri and Kier. Like I just saw sparks fly in the room. Like we have these, what we call serendipitous moments, but they're
Yes.
really intuition aligning intuition, right? Like, thank you
Yes.
for showing up
Yes.
and being you.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
when you honor that, how much lighter do you feel? Because when you're in your depression, you're heavy. It's almost like you're sunk and weighted down. And you're just trying to swim in the ocean, but you have this heavy weight around you and you can't get anywhere. But when you listen to that intuition, you're so light. Not only do
Yeah.
you vibrate light and higher, but you feel, yes, it's a freedom.
Yeah. And to understand that you have the power. So your decision can choose and command energy. So it's like I remember when I had my wellness center, actually down the street in Solana Beach. So it was, people would come in and it was like the depression. If you're getting depression, that is literally you're you're crushing your spirit. Your
Yeah.
spirit is saying, oh, I want to breathe, I want to swim in this ocean, like I'm so happy. And then a belief, a conditioned response, a thought that's connected to a negative emotion is coming in, and that negative belief is crushing your spirit. And that belief isn't true. It's not true that you can't do it. It's not true that you're not supported. Whatever those beliefs are, and I offer 15-minute consultations for people to find where is that connection and how can you expand into the path of the illuminated path of your highest potential, right? Like I've walked it, many have, we all can, it's here. And so, in saying yes to your intuition, you're going to be guided, and that depression will lift and those chains will break because you decide. You decide.
Yes.
That's your power. You're not a victim. You decide. And the next step will be shown. Your intuition knows.
Oh, and that's so true because I felt when I was at that depression and I didn't listen to it. I
Mm.
didn't listen to my intuition and I didn't listen to my thought. Didn't realize when you feel you can't, you can't. And when you feel you can, or feel or know into it.
Mm-hmm.
And you're in that moment of that beauty and that wholeness. And it's, you can be that victim. You can listen to everybody else making the decision for you and telling you that you don't deserve a good quality of life or you'll never have it. It's it's understanding where you're at and where you want to be and how to get there from point A to point B. And that's what I share with clients is here's what your goal is, but here's the journey and the way you can take it because you have your own tools. They're within you. What do you have? What experience, what education, what training do you have that you can put and repurpose into being you and into that alchemical change?
Or don't listen to what people are saying if it's negative. Don't listen to the
Oh,
thought,
absolutely.
right? Like listen to the people that are supporting you. Listen to the people that are cheering you on. Like I know times, I mean, just recently I made a big move and it was like I had a lot of people cheering me on and I was more fighting my own internal thing. Like, can I let go? And I was sharing with you before the show went live, like talking to my mom this morning, like, they're cutting down all these trees around my old house. And they're like, she's like, Abby, you'd be crying. I mean, I like cried and was like traumatized from them cutting down one tree. Like I so connected to the trees. I'm like, I could not handle that. So, and then it was like, I mean, 2 months ago, I was guided before it actually, all the fires hit, back where I used to live, like
Mm.
really hard, like to the point where I know physically I wouldn't have been able to breathe there. So our intuition is going to gently nudge us and guide us and support us. And, when we listen, we'll feel that lightness. But I mean, I've gone through the same thing, fighting it, not listening. And then to the point where my body was like, and guides were like, hey, you got to go. Like literally, like leaving the day before the fire set, literally the day before.
Wow, that's amazing.
That's how much I pushed it, right? Like 2 months ago,
Wow.
I was warned, like, you need to go. And then, like, I'm leaving like the day before. I mean, thank God I got out, but like, how funny, right? Like, seriously.
We all go through that time and we always need to address why we're fighting it. What is the reality of it? If as long as you feel into it and you understand, okay, even put it down on paper, am I safe?
Mm.
Is it why I'm stopping or avoiding this? Because it's not a safe situation. Okay, once you get past that, I'm safe and here's how I can be safe and here's how I'm guided. Why am I pushing it? Why am I stopping it? And sometimes we always feel that in staying, we can protect the area or the people. And it's not always our job to stop everything from happening.
Mm.
And sometimes in us leaving or us moving on in a situation, people will come with us, and that's how we keep them safe, is having them follow us and bringing the tribe with us or letting them know, hey, you know what? I'm not feeling that this is safe to be here or I need to move. You know what? If you guys want to come with me, I'm here, but here's what I'm seeing. And for me, when I see things like that, I try to share that because I want people to be safe, but let them make that decision. And it's hard because I always feel I hear you because I feel that if it's not a safe condition, I want to protect everybody and I want to shield everybody and keep them safe. But sometimes for them to keep safe, it's move on from where you're at.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah. And the other thing I feel really guided to share is you are worthy of being safe, loved, and protected. You are worthy of being safe, loved, and protected. Because I had to learn that like it is okay for me to feel safe. Like I deserve to feel safe, loved, and protected. Right? Like we all do. So whatever has maybe happened in your life that maybe at some point conditioned your brain to think you didn't, I want to let you know that's not true. No matter what's happened, you deserve love, safety, and protection. Period.
100%. And you don't need to be the victim at all times. And sometimes if you're waiting for someone to rescue you, sometimes that means that you yourself need to walk out that door. And I come from a family that had abuse or mental illness and felt they needed to stay in situations and were always waiting for somebody to rescue them. And they thought the roof was going to fly off and the heavens would light up and they would reach in and their angels and guides would pull them to safety when they always showed them the message and the symbolism in front of them and the route out. Maybe it's the fire escape out in a sense, right? What's your pre-planned fire escape to get out? That's what they were showing you. Your angels and guides were showing you the way out. And you missed that. But let's teach people that there's a way to do it and there's a way to see it and a way to open up and understand. And that's what we're here for as healers, to share that you can always be in that guided state. You can always be in that safe state and that there's somebody that can help you wake up to that and be in tune to healing yourself, opening your third eyes and contacting your angels and guides so you can be in that present energy to understand what you're seeing. And sometimes it's interpreting that GPS that's in front of you, that weird roadmap of life. You don't understand because it's so far, it seems it's so far out of the Shire, right? You're leaving the great Shire and going on this beautiful adventure. But it's kind of scary when you to walk out the door.
To let go. Yeah. And Kira, I remember she actually told me one of my conversations. She's like, so Abby, like everybody's throwing you a lifeboat. Are you going to take it? Like, hello, like it's about your happiness. So like, to your point, like your angels and your guides are showing you the path. And remember, you are the messenger. You are the conduit of love. You are the best guide, right? Your higher self. So you, as you, get to take, if you choose, that lifeboat and get on it, right? So the path is going to be shown, but you get to walk it. And I used to be scared to walk it sometimes. I mean, not all the time. I used to be super excited, but like this transition, it was kind of scary to what you said. It's almost like, yeah, leaving the Shire and going on this adventure and having this new home and everything. It's like, okay, this is, it felt scary, which is funny because looking back, you're like, and Kira told me this, she was like, you're going to look back and be like, why was it so hard for me to leave, right? I mean, it's so funny, but she was so right. I trust her. And ultimately, even though I trusted her, I had to trust myself because again, I had to walk the path and I was scared to make the choice because I had to let go, right? Because it was familiar. And I wonder at some level, I didn't think I was scared to be happy, but maybe I was. I don't know. I know that I'm really happy now and I'm a pretty happy person. So to let go of anything that's inhibiting my happiness, even if it was something I thought I needed, right? Like this big house, like guess what? Happiness and love and joy and service became more important. And you're right, like my tribe did follow me. And it was like, I noticed like if I started swinging and not following my intuition, like they would kind of like fall off. And I was like, oh man, I was like, if I'm not living in integrity with my intuition, like my people are going to fall off. Like I got to keep going for me and my people. And I knew it. And we're all each other's, right? But like to have that resonance of people following what I'm teaching, I had to continue being the messenger of that. I had to continue walking my truth and walking in the integrity of what I teach because like I'm that living example, right? And so the universe is like, hey, listen, like we're all that universe and people feel it. And so I had to keep walking, right? So it took courage, but I guess I just want to say on the other side of that is your freedom and happiness. And there's different levels and layers and whatever it is, it's all part of the journey. But what I realized is not I had to make the choice, I get to make the choice.
Yeah.
And I get to
Yeah.
trust myself to make it. Because when it's coming from that intuitive, love-filled place, of course it's leading me happy, better, more joyful, more prosperity, everything, right?
Right. And that to speak that truth of yourself and to
Mhm.
see that. It's like the connection that we have with oneness. And I've never met anybody personally, but I've
Mhm.
spoken to some of the people, and it's so beautiful to be in the energy of the truth and the feeling.
Totally.
Because there was no time like now, like, oh, I'd love to have a show. That'd be neat. You think about it and you're watching podcasts, and that was me. I'd watch Sri and Kira, and I'd come in and out of it and be like, that was nice. And the next thing I know, I just hear her talking like Nicole. I could hear it in her voice.
Mm.
Just come be a host. And actually listening to that and feeling the compassion and the unity of the community at
Mhm.
oneness, and how
Mhm.
everybody shares and how they give and teach. And we harvest and sow the seed of our knowledge, and to bring our ancestors and our magic every
Mhm.
day. That there's somebody there, that we're here in a group and we're not fighting each other to get to that top or be in our ego, which is amazing. Um, I come from California too, and I'm from the Bay Area. And where I grew up, it was a lot of being in your ego, and being the better person, the stronger person. And so it was hard for me to get out of that. I had to get out of that state to really
Mhm.
see it, to detach myself and to
Mhm.
feel that flow. And it's funny because I came to Vegas, and it was in Vegas that I opened up. And sometimes, yes, you have to listen to that, right? And you have to see, oh, it maybe not was that state, but it was the people I was around. It was
Mhm.
the community that was around me, and the people that I had known or understood, and that pain, and I could feel that vibration. And so the one thing I know that I did right was closing off and not listening to that, because it wasn't my truth. And when you're an energy worker, you start to hear, and you're empathic, and you
Mhm.
think that you're feeling people, or you hear their words and you feel their vibes, and you start to live that. And that's not your truth. And you have to get that out of there. And it runs like a tape in your mind again and again. And those fear gremlins get you, because it's kind of stewing. It's like a big stew pot. But for me, I hear people, I hear their words. I don't only feel their energy, but I hear their voices and their words. And I didn't realize what I was hearing or why I was hearing that. And I learned to come out of that. And I learned to be in the light and understand that I need to understand who that person is, and I need to see them where they're at. But I need to see the light that's me as well. And that's such a beautiful thing that you saw that when you were young. It took me a long time to come back to being an energy worker, and to work with people, and to be more in the light and understand that how to read people, and how to use that energy, and kind of how to deflect it, and learn to heal people and send them the energy if they accept it, right? And how to feel that, and how to do that vibe. Now, yeah, you do other things. You do, is it charity? And
Yeah, absolutely. Can I just say a little quick something on the other point of what you're saying that I think will help people to what you're saying?
right.
About moving in your truth. So, when you open your fifth chakra, you can even visualize the color blue, and you can say, my truth is. Now, when you're in alignment with your truth, it'll connect to your gut, to that intuition I guided you to, and
Mhm.
you'll get that yes. So when you're in this light, like I almost just see a light bulb as an image, right? Seeing yourself as that light. My truth is like within yourself, right? And you feel it, and it connects to your core, to your gut, and then you're illuminating your own self. And that light does dispel the darkness, right? Like that's something
Yeah.
else that my mom was always telling me, Abby, like turn on the light, like it dispels the darkness. So to connect in with that truth, right? Because I have to walk that every day, right? Like I know the truth, I know where I'm coming from. Be the light no matter what. No matter what's coming at you, be the light, know the truth. Where you are, who you're with, whatever country you're in, anywhere. Okay. So
Yeah.
to answer your question about charity, yes. So I do a lot of work. A lot of my stuff is I do a lot of shows. Like there's a lot of pro bono stuff. We have a nonprofit called One Heart Global, where we go and we teach the intuitive success coaching processes to children. So we've been to Bali, to Thailand, and now Ecuador, because we got to meet Sri and Kira, and we're connected to some orphanages there, which we're connected with. And man, I wish I had the link, but another just client, dear friend of mine, we're doing a class on the universal language of love in October to actually benefit this orphanage. So you could actually just email me at abby@lifeforceconnection.com if you're interested in that. The reason why is I don't have the link memorized. It's like universal language of love / love your life, I think, / but I'm not for positive. So again, it's just Abby, ABBY @lifeforceconnection.com. And I can send you that link because it's just teaching these principles to you. And then obviously having the funds to, also just give them supplies. So I just love this work. I just love being intuitive and helping people become more intuitive, because we all are. And like I said, when we illuminate that, this world becomes the place it was meant to, right? Like the beauty and the love can be shared, right? And we can appreciate our earth. I mean, Gaia, this whole thing with this virus, I've just been so aware of what people have done to the earth, and what can I do? Like, gosh, like so much, like what can we do? And I'm like admitting it. Like I didn't always recycle. I would be like, oh, whatever. And now I'm like, oh my gosh, like I literally had plastic there to like cut it up to make sure like fish don't get it. And like all these things, like I'm so extra aware now, like buying toilet paper that's recycled, paper towels that are recycled. Like, oh my goodness, what can I do? Because like, think of how much waste we've put on this beautiful planet. So I'm like, whatever we can do. I mean, one of my clients, she's like doing environmental marketing now. And like, so beautiful, creating business cards from hemp. I'm like, I love it. So like, what can we do to like stop the waste and like the almost disgrace, like this is a gift that we're here. Like, how could you possibly do anything less than, right? So I just, really for my own self am just so aware. And I hope that like we all get the message, because in case you hadn't noticed, like the earth is burning itself up. I mean, there's things happening. I'm not saying completely, right? I'm just saying there's fires that are coming out. There's things that like the earth is trying to say, hey, listen, pay attention.
It's the connection. Absolutely. We didn't listen. We didn't connect. And that's part of what can you do with what you have? What little bit can you do that will affect you, your family, and the earth? And it seems that we're missing. And I know for me, for so long, I missed the earthly connection.
Yeah.
Whether it's taking your shoes off and just hiking around and earthing and feeling the dirt between your toes, or having some plants around you if you're in the city and you can't get out of that, or just even recycling. What little bit can you do to contribute to that and really feel the earth in that it's pain? Because we're here utilizing the earth. It's our planet. And it was here before we were. And we need to find that soulful connection, that oneness connection that we have for how we regenerate. It's a continuum, right? And it's a cycle. And it's so beautiful that you teach children that they can have that intuition, that spiritual awakening, and that connection, and be part of that. Because when they listen, it's so easy to teach them, because they're growing and learning, and they can feel, and their sensory perception is so open, and they can be free so quickly. And it must be so beautiful and so such an awakening in that heart space and that connection back again that we forget to have, right?
Is exactly what you just felt when you're like, whew, like I felt your heart feeling that compassion, and anybody listening might feel that too. Every single time before I go to these orphanages, I get that feeling. So, back in the day when I was like writing my college essay, I saw, the wellness center in the school that I know will eventually build. And it was, seeing kids that had darker skin, and I was working with them. So I knew it was going to be a different nationality. And fast forward to like 10 years later, that's when I started doing this work in the orphanages. I would get these visions of that and this feeling like you just experienced of like deep love, compassion, gratitude. And I would literally like with my mind's eye now, I even see things with my physical eyes, but like, see these kids outside my door, like all these kids. And I just feel this love and compassion, right? So that happened before my first trip to Thailand. And probably about a week ago, that same feeling you just felt, I feel similar. I just started crying. Like I felt the kids in Ecuador, like me walking into the orphanage and just overwhelmed, just like crying and just feeling these are all my children. These are all my children.
Yeah.
So we're all each other's, right? And can we hold each other in that love and contribute? And if anybody is feeling called to donate, you can go to oneheartglobal.co and you can click on the donate button. If you have any problems, again, please email Abby at LifeForce Connection, ABBY@lifeforceconnection.com, because we just had a technology thing with PayPal. So I want to make sure if you're feeling called that you can get to that. And, we're planning on, just getting that delivered directly to them. So
Awesome.
yeah, share that.
And it's so awesome to be able to have video, YouTube, and Facebook to be able to share with people, and share what we do and the causes we have, the heartfelt causes that we have to unite people in that oneness, because it is our platform. And sometimes it's when you're finding your truth or being able to speak your truth, it's hard to know where to go or what to say or speaking it in that love language, because you just want to amplify it. And then you start to feel that heartfelt, well, there's a cause, there's something I need to do, there's this burning desire I need to share with people. We're so lucky to have these beautiful platforms to share with us, and the things that you do and what happens in Ecuador and all over the world, and just to travel and be part of that, because you're kind of making a good footprint, instead of, we always talk about that bad bio footprint that we're implanting, but how can you counteract that? And you can counteract that by serving yourself and serving others. But you also share and how to take care of yourself and being in yourself. And that's so important too, to understand that self-love is not selfish. It is not about me, myself, and I in that way. It's in that heartfelt moment of filling your cup so you can fill others. And being a caregiver, I mean, I did that typical struggle where I was like, oh, I got to help people, but didn't know that I was healing myself by helping others, but leaving my cup empty. But seeing people, and I used to work with like Alzheimer's patients or hospice and things like that, just to be able to share, because I wanted so much to contact people and share what I had. And it's so important when you're a healer and it speaks to your heart, and it's something that makes you happy and something that makes you feel the love, and you feel like you're worthy, in that sense that I have this magic that I can share with other people and I can help them. And how can you help them? We can't all do, some of us can contribute, but because we don't have time or we can't travel. So donate to the cause so other people can do that. And it's already there for you. The connection, the foundation that is there, that you've put already forth and spent that time and love in there. And so that's what we can do. Anything that we can do to help others, help ourselves, and help the environment. Because yes, the world is like, hey, hello, it's shaking up. It's shaking us up. We're connected, and we have to see that. We have to open up and be connected. Because it's talking to us, and I feel that vibration, and I feel into it. And sometimes I have to stop and go inside and just meditate and send that prayer and love to the earth, not just the people, but to the earth.
Yeah. And just something that Kira shared with me that I feel compelled to share is, you're worthy just because you're born.
Yes.
And, right? Like, just because you're here, and then, my voice, what I feel that I'd like to share is your presence is enough. Just you as it's actually more than enough. And so whatever your presence feels inspired to do, whether it's to travel, to donate, to not travel, just to sit there and send love, like, it's not just doing that. That's changing the vibration of the planet. Right? Like, you know, the client I was sharing with you about, like, she's so incredible. I'm like, your presence is just radiant. It's healing people just by you, like, being here. It's transforming the energy around you. So do you get that, like, you know, back to the light bulb, it's like the light is illuminating the dark room. You sitting in a room being your light filled, soulful, illuminated self is actually changing, transforming the world around you, right?
Yes.
Like, hey, you're awesome.
It's huge. It's huge. And it's always mad props to you and yourself, right? And to other people. But it's just to know that you're enough, and with that presence being enough, and that you can make small changes. Or that's how you share. You can't go out. And I knew for a long time, I wanted to go out and just shake people. Are you listening? Are you seeing what you're doing? You see what you're doing here. You see how you're hurting people or hurting the planet. And sometimes we go through that passionate point of life where we just feel that we need to get people to see what we see, but you can't. But just like you and your client, you change people's minds by just being the person you are. And you change the world by sharing maybe the hemp business cards, by sharing that. That's a change, because people are like, oh, that's cool. I like that. And I want to support you because I love your energy. And now they support you. And then you're changing their mind just by doing. And it's not forcing them to be in control and controlling other people to bring them to that thought. And it's such a delicate, loving way. And it's fun because you enjoy what you do. And especially, Shri and Kira, and just listening to them, because not only are they passionate, but they're truthful, and they're just so great with allowing people to be themselves, providing them guidance and saying, here's the guidance, here's what's going on. And when you're ready, come on in. We're here.
Definitely. We see you.
We know you're there. Just whenever you're ready to land, just come on in. Right. And I know there's many times I've told my clients, you're spinning in circles. Whenever you're ready to land, I'll be here to catch you. Right. But that's recognizing where that person's at. We, my dear, have almost come up on an hour. What is there anything that you're passionate besides everything? You just have such a passion in your life, such a beauty, and just this mass of energy. There's just huge, right? It's just round the world, around the globe. Here I am, just this beautiful, open, fairy, beautiful energy that just lights everything up, wherever you go. I just see, when I see you, I just picture you with your little wand just going ding all around. Wee, I'm loving you. Here's some love, right? Totally. Just passing it on, just having fun with it. And that's so beautiful. I want to give you the last word. What is there anything else, any gift or anything, words of advice you want to just give the viewers today?
That's awesome. So one of my best friends actually did give me a magic wand. That's one of the things I say, like, here's the magic wand, let's do it, because you're all magical. It's like sprinkling fairy dust for sure. Love Tinkerbell, one of my favorite movies, by the way. So if you guys want a free gift, you can go to my website. So you can go to www.lifeforceconnection.com. So life, like we're all connected, force, the force be with you, and then connection.com. And you can scroll down and you'll see activate your best life intuitive meditation. So you can download that. It's a chakra, awesome, amazing activation. And then you can reach out to me. You have my email, abby@lifeforceconnection.com, and I do the 15-minute intros. And I just love to connect, and then guide you from there. So you'll find a lot of free resources on that site too. I think you'll really love it. So, and then now on the bottom too. So yeah.
Oh, and it's all there. She's got a beautiful site, and check out her videos and her magic. You'll go on there. And when is your show on?
So we go live for Intuitive You on Mondays at 9 a.m. Pacific. Yeah.
Okay. So Monday. All right. Awesome. So you guys, everything will be linked up here. Thank you so much for being here. You guys, we are so blessed for having this outlet to share with you and to connect with more people and to share with like-minded people and to share the transformation at all levels with everybody, and to learn and grow. And we are always learning, we are always growing, and we are always moving forward. I'll have Abby's links connected to the YouTube and to the Facebook. It'll all be up there. We are all in this magical, beautiful family, sharing and caring and growing. And thank you for tuning in. Every Thursday at 9 a.m., Soulful Illumination comes to you. And it's been such a magical day. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks, Nicole. Bye, everyone.